This is a 24mm lens. Now let's see what a 14 looks like. Whoa! Hello back there. Just 10mm difference. Every millimeter counts. Let's get into the video. So this lens weighs in at only 460 grams, has a minimal focus of 0.25. It's a 9 aperture blade, beast of a lens. It's got an impressive f1.8 up to 16, and it's a spherical lens. Now let me explain what an aspherical lens is. That means there is no warping. Unlike other cameras, for example, like action cameras, you get warping towards the edge. But this absolutely eliminates it. Also, the lens is small, it's compact. It's got, obviously, the manual aperture ring. You can have that click on and click off via the button here. I prefer it off because we mostly film in video. It's got a custom button on the side here. Also has autofocus and manual focus, and it all feels pretty good. Before I dive into further specs and my thoughts and feelings around this lens, let me tell you why we got it and maybe why you should listen to me. We do some interior filming and we were challenged to do some real close-knit, compact spaces. And all we had at our disposal was this lens here, 24mm lens, but we needed something wide. I did a lot of research and found out the best option really was the G-Master. Now there are obviously other wide angle lenses, but it's their spherical, I can't even say this properly, their spherical features which made it good. You get a bit of warping when you're like turning and going to the edge, but it was definitely the best option. And also the f1.8, which is what made it like the decision maker. You can get that shallow depth of field then around, you know, the type of shots you're going for, make it look good, make it look cinematic. I'm going to be really honest with you as well. We don't use this lens a lot at all. It is rare for us to use it these days. It's only if we get internal shots come up where it's a tight space. You could use it for vehicle filming inside as like the camera which you can talk to, but still it is very wide. I mean, I've tried using this in my truck and it's too wide. You need something a bit closer and a bit more focused attention to the driver who's speaking about whatever the subject is. Now, paired with an FX3 camera like we're using here, it is well balanced. You can see how short this is. It's small enough to go into your bag, it doesn't get in the way, it is a good robust lens. Now, let's talk about one of the things you may have spotted. Now, if we look at that top-down camera, you see there is no ring for you to put ND filters in. And the hood is massive because it's got to go right over the top of it. It's a good robust hood, but it's a very unusual design. How do you use filters on this? It's not easy, I can tell you. The only way to do it is on the back here. Now, you can see it is a void of darkness. That is because we have an ND8 on here. It's the only way to control the light if you're fixing off your shutter, your ISO, and your frames per second to get that blurriness. This has a gasket right here. Let's get this on the camera, right here. And you have to get these micro screws around the edge, take off the original gasket, and then put the original one, and you've got a little clip here. It is fiddly. What worries me about this system is the fact that you're getting so close to the lenses on the inside and the circuitry. But once you've done it, it's there. You have a frame for you to swap out your NDs. They're not cheap. A set of NDs were around about £120. It comes in this nice, lovely little box here, and if I just open this up and show you, you can see how fragile it is. You can see they're just placed there. And then we've got the original here. You can actually hear all the little tiny screws in it, and it was not fun changing it, I can tell you that. It took around about 20 minutes. I may well do a separate video on how you do all that. But yeah, so that's one thing you want to consider, especially if you're doing long exposure photography or you want to control things more when you're doing videos. The one thing I don't like, what I've just mentioned, is that you can't put filters on the front. You could possibly use a matte box, but again, if you put a matte box on it, it'll come out here and you may well see those edges. Haven't tried it. If you have, I'd love to know if you've had any success around that, because it'll make it much more flexible than the rear end of it. And finally, the price. Again, it is a G-Master lens, so you're talking top-notch quality. This weighs it in at £1,399. Not the most expensive G-Master lens by any means, but if you think about your case use, you really have to justify that cost. Sometimes you can get a bit cheaper, Sony have sales on, that can help a lot. So what do you think? You're going to buy? You're going to rent? Love to know your thoughts. Please consider subscribe, it really helps us grow our channel. And stay tuned for a further related lens video. This will be an interesting one for you.